Hello, hello, my little stinky gremlins. How y'all doing? Hi, Cal. How are you? How you do? Okay. Well, I'm gonna actually go grab my glasses really fast. I can't fucking see, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I also grab some sakis because my little tootses are cold. Finally, getting up to eat food that isn't just. I mean, we are all adults here. I am surprisingly so we have like literally no food in our house because we did a fridge purge before we left for Canada. And long story short, I we have nothing in we had nothing in the house for breakfast besides two eggs and toast. So thankfully, that is edible for breakfast, but it was dire straits there for a second. So I'm eating the last couple bites of a cheesy egg before I get to work. But before I get started, I would love to thank everybody over on YouTube who's been subscribing. I'm very, very close to getting to 700 over on YouTube. I'm about 10 away, which is crazy. Um, I'm in love. So thanks again to Becca Bear, Momentum Mori, and Akawana Goldenflower, and Lily Melon for following. I appreciate that. And many, many more. There have been a couple more. So I appreciate you. As always, before I get started on working on this book on stream, I would like to remind everyone that this is an adult novel, so there are content warnings for drug abuse, graphic violence, a little bit of blood and gore, cussing, that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to deal with that, we're past the torture, so there's no more torture and there's no more like abuse. But okay, let me. I need to go to Amazon. I'm like waiting impatiently for my books to get here. They're taking forever. Vogue Race is on its way. But I'm officially back from Canada, which is disappointing at best. I want to cry. Like, I have no words to describe how different it is than the US. It's like beautifully similar, but wildly different. Okay, let me get all these little things set up. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so today we're doing sprints. I'm finally back to writing something that isn't beneath his teeth. I'm super sad about not being able to qualify for the Reedsy competition, but it seems like that happens to a lot of people. What happened to me happened to many, many people. I'm not mad at them about it. A little disappointed, but not mad. I hope that the 700 people that, they did get that qualification, that they, have fun winning the prizes and stuff. But the people were very kind, and they did still give me free premium on their like Reedsy app thing or whatever, despite the fact that I did not do it correctly. So I thought that was very kind. So they handled it really professionally. But now I'm gonna be working back on Appetite again. It's similar enough that you can tell mostly what's going on, but you're also a toddler finding out your friend has their own uncles or something. Kind of. For me, like, I had zero issue. I was taking public transit the entire time. So I was on the metro. I was on the bus. I was walking up and down, like, pretty, like, I hit everything from West Vancouver to East Vancouver on foot. So that gave me a really good lay of the land, and it also gave me a really good perspective of like, when people complain about Vancouver being dirty or having homeless people or like being sketchy in some areas, what that actually looks like. Because I was in the heart of like Gastown, Chinatown, Davie Village, those areas, um, Chinatown, yeah, just overall downtown area, and it's still, even though it was quite urban and there were houseless people, it was still not as bad as the US. Um, yeah, the US is like nothing I've ever seen. Um, the major difference is the level of safety on the street, because even if you're walking around at night in kind of a sketchy area, homeless people leave you the fuck alone. You're not going to get mugged. You're not going to get shot at. And the police are actually there to help you for the most part. I'm not going to deny that. Obviously, I've heard, a lot about systemic racism in Canada, and there's like, there's no escaping it really. I'm sure that there are shitty police brutality stories that I have not yet heard because I haven't been there. But the fact that I can walk around and not be afraid of being shot by people on the street was huge, because I don't have that luxury here. Um, it was like stepping into what people in the US tell you that the US is supposed to be like what America is supposed to be like, and being able to actually see like, oh, this is the quote make America great again place where everybody's happy and nothing is really dirty and people are actually kind to each other and there's no violence, there's no death. Like this is the American dream that people are chasing here, that we just do not have access to because our legislation is shit and our like overall people culture is also shit. So, does Canada still have issues? Definitely. Have I been exposed to it all? No, I definitely could not have been exposed to it in the course of like 4 days. Um but it was very refreshing to be able to, yeah, exist as a trans person and to be able to like go to the bathroom in public places and have servers like complimenting me and gendering me correctly and things like that, which does not happen here in the United States. I do not get gendered correctly here. People are not courteous. I had people defaulting to they them pronouns more than I had people misgendering me, which was insane. I've never ever ever seen anything like that. And it was it was amazing. I want to go back. I wish I was there right fucking now. This feels like when you have a friend in elementary school and your friend is like, yeah, I live in this neighborhood. You want to come play over at my house? And you're like, yeah, I want to go play over at my friend's house. And you go over to your friend's house, and it's the coolest fucking place you've ever been in your whole life. And you're like, well, why is my house jankety as shit? And then you realize that you live in like a really shitty neighborhood. It is at that moment that your childhood innocence is shattered. Mostly, the biggest and wildest disappointment was coming back and realizing, like, when I was in Vancouver purchasing stuff, because both are coastal cities, right? You have Vancouver and you have Seattle, Washington. Being in Vancouver, you can buy a meal for two people at the airport. You know, we went to Tim Hortons and we got like $12 USD donuts and coffee and stuff, which is pretty good. You know, that's like upper end for a single donut and a single coffee, but it's also like, or for two donuts, two coffees, but it's also the airport, you know, so I'm like, it's like that's kind of to be expected. That's whatever. But we get back to the US, and in order to get food, Jason and I spend 60 US dollars to get two meals for us. And it was like, yep, we're back in America. We fucking suddenly can't afford anything. So that was, I think, also incredibly refreshing. I literally was spending money like a crazy person. I was like not holding back. I was like buying fucking expensive restaurant food. I was, using the metro. I bought like a 160 USD piece of art on a whim, and I still spent no more than 650 USD for both Jace and I, going absolutely apeshit spending money. So, the U.S. is cooked. That's just, this is further evidence that yes, we are cooked as shit. Today I'm drinking the Honey Orchid Dantong Wulong from Treasure Green, which I visited while I was in Vancouver. It was this beautiful tea shop in Chinatown. And this one is, as it says, it tastes like a honey orchid. This is a Wudong Mountain Wulong, which I can tell because it does not have any minerally notes like the Wu Yi that I have. Dang, this has a 6 to 7 brew capacity. Time to drink tea all day. I'm gonna get everything that I possibly can out of this tea. It was delicious. And I will be definitely going back to this tea shop for sure. Yeah, I found Canada super easy to navigate. I didn't have any issues. I was able to use all of my credit cards and everything, no problem. When I went to Greece, it was like a much different scenario. You know, you had to do like currency exchanges and stuff, but because everybody's doing like tap to pay and shit in Canada, it's like you don't really have to like get currency to get on the bus. Everything is, yeah, just tap to pay. So it was fucking awesome. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and get started writing so that I actually can get through this damn thing. So we got 24 is our what I rolled. Yeah, mostly what did it for me was like on the way back, my mom was like, because I was talking to her about my experience, and she was like, I don't get it. It's like, because I was explaining to her that like things were not scary. They were like, really normal. And she was like, well, why is the US like this? And I went and I looked up, there's like a ranking called the World Peace Ranking. And the World Peace Ranking, they are a data analysis thing that goes over societal safety and security, the extent of ongoing conflict, and the degree of militarization. So, in other words, how physically safe are the citizens within the country? So, violent crime, political instability, risk of terrorism, internal and external conflict, casualties from all types of conflict. So, that does include police brutality, relationship with neighboring countries, and then, of course, level of military activity and spending, size of armed forces, military expenditure, and access to weapons. Canada is like fifth in terms of the best country in the world to live in terms of your own physical safety. The US ranks in the bottom of that list, on par with other tumultuous countries like Venezuela at 128th. So, that's why. I was like trying to explain to my mom, I'm like, that's why. I hate to be this guy, but the US is cooked. So it was amazing. To say I had a good time was definitely an understatement. It was wonderful. The aquarium was great. The food was great. The people were nice. The tour of the campus was cool. I'm sure Jace will have lots to say about it if you ask him. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this sprint. I spent enough time flapping my face, and I'm going to go ahead and try and plow through the rest of this book. I might be able to do it by the end of the year. We're going to see. So I'm going to try and fly through this, and I will see you all on the other side. Here we go. Alrighty. How did we do? Hi, Goose. How you doing? I hope you enjoy your lunch, Cal. Fried chicken sandwich. That sounds pretty good. Hydrate. This tea is delightful. I'm drinking that honey orchid oolong. Holy moly, it's so good. Hey, Loctigal, welcome, welcome. I'm working on a thriller. Yo, me too. Welcome in. Let me know if I said your username right. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Tell us about your thriller. Tell us what you're working on. I legit just finished before the timer went off. Timing. Skill. Um, yeah, I'll introduce myself really quickly. My name's Tycho. I'm an award winning author, illustrator, self publishing consultant, and owner of a publishing house. I've published 11 titles on my own, and I'm going to continue to probably publish like one or two titles a year. Next year is the first year that my publishing house is going to be accepting submissions, so I'm very, very excited about all of that. I typically tend to write cozy fantasy, but mostly, yeah, mostly fantasy at this point for all ages. I started writing middle grade, and then now I've got a couple of adults on the way. And yeah, I tend to write a lot of fun stuff. But if you want to check out any of my work, you are more than welcome to do so on my website to see kind of what I have going on. But that's me. We're working on a biotech thriller right now that is a fairy tale retelling of the Grimm brothers fairy tale, The Little Brother and Sister. And the biotech thriller aspect is that it's about drug culture, nightlife, addiction, and really, really evil drug lords. That's the overall vibe. I am very close to finishing this draft. I originally published this book when I was in college, so I would have been like 20, I think. It's been about a decade, and the original version of this book was not great, so I'm transcribing it, fixing the plot holes, fixing a lot of the errors, and then I'm going to republish it. I'm going to need to make a command for this, but of course, too, if you want to check out my publishing website, you can also do so at liminalhousebooks.com. These cherry tomatoes are bland as fuck. Summer better come back so my veggies aren't booty. I don't even eat tomatoes. You are braver than me. This tea is the best oolong I've ever had. And I'm so actually no, just kidding. Cancel that. It's not the best oolong I've ever had because while I was at the tea shop, I ended up having this oolong that is so fun. I've been meaning to try it. Um, it is called. Hold on. Lao Shu. Lao Shu. Duck shit oolong. And I love that. I love that it's called duck shit. It's just funny to me. That is the actual name of the tea. It did not taste like duck shit. It tasted like magic. It was a really, really, really good tea, and that is probably my favorite oolong I've ever had. Oh God, I will eat tomatoes like an apple. You are horrifying. I got messed up by the tomato. I don't know, man. I don't know. Goose, what you working on today? You doing anything fun? How did Draft go? I'm excited to announce too that Heyu has officially won my Draft challenge. So everybody should go congratulate them in the Discord server. I'll be announcing that later today when I get around to it. But they wrote a very cool vampire contemporary paranormal piece, and it's a prequel to some of their work, and it looks very cool. It's my first book. I managed to finish page 142 during the last sprint. Very nice. I'm writing about a mercenary hired by a company to get a hijacked ship back. She teamed up with the company rep to do it in Cuba, but they got separated, and now the company rep is in the pirates' hideout undercover. The Merc is on her way there after taking out a corrupt police station. We are steering towards huge underwater explosion that will cause a tsunami, and there's some Yuri with the Merc and the company rep. I love that. Love a good set of kick-ass lesbian girlies. I dig that. That sounds super fun. I tend to not read a lot of like traditional thrillers, but the last one that I read that was a really good sapphic thriller. It was a mob thriller called "We Are the Match" by Mary Roach. I think Mary E. Roach was the author, but that one kicked ass. It was really really good. It sounds like a really fun project. That's awesome. And everybody loves a good explosion. If you don't have at least one explosion, are you even writing a book right? That's so awesome. Well, if you ever need any help with anything, we have a really helpful community here in the stream, and then also too, I'm always open for questions when it comes to publishing. I have a master's in publishing. I'm always looking to help people figure out what the best path is for them. You know, where should you publish? How do you go about doing it? What steps do you have left before you're ready to publish your book? Like all of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I love helping people when I can. Ooh, there will be some changes of allegiance, and the company rep will end up trying to kill the Merc. Oh, the plan is lovers to enemies to lovers. I love it. I'm here for the drama. I love that. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Cool. Well, on that note, let's roll for the next sprint. Let's see how much time we're going to be spending working on this next thing. We got to roll the magic rocks. Oh, this one's shorter. By 2 minutes only, though. We got 22. 22? Ooh, I'm planning a trilogy, each book with a different main villain. That sounds so fun. Yeah, that sounds fun. One of my favorite video game series of all time is the Uncharted series, and I recognize it's kind of like an action thriller, but I really enjoy the like Indiana Jones style like thriller formula where you have like a good couple of adventures that the characters can go on, so you can really appreciate them over time. Love that. All right, well, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on our next 22-minute sprint. And of course, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to pop a follow while we get to work. And I will see you all at the end of this 22 minutes. Here we go. All right, how did everybody do? So far today, I have written or transcribed, truly transcribed and written about 2,600 words. This chapter's kind of long. Hi, Gamby, how are you doing today? Welcome over to the YouTube side. I hope you're having a good day. With my writing style, I'm trying to put my own spin on Clive Cussler. That's awesome. I haven't read a lot of Clive Cussler, but I respect that he definitely dominates the genre for sure. I have to go back and I'm probably going to need to edit this portion, to be honest, because when I first wrote this, I did not understand how the legal system worked at all. Oh, nice. I'm glad that you enjoy Clive Cussler's work. That's so awesome. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't end up over in, like, thrillers very often. But, yeah, Clive is a powerhouse, truly. Yeah, for this, I'm really inspired. I can definitely say by like my favorite gaming franchise growing up was the Jack and Daxter franchise. So there is a little bit of that in this. But when working on this on this thriller, I started writing it because my dad was a I don't want to say a victim of the opioid crisis because that is a weird way to phrase it. He was deeply impacted by the opioid crisis in the early 2000s and was heavily addicted to opioids that were prescribed to him by his doctor because his doctor was crazy. And he's thankfully no longer on opioids anymore, and it was really awesome to see him be able to get over that. But I was really I don't want to say I was impacted by the drug addiction because he was a great dad. He didn't like literally he handled it. I can't even imagine. I don't know. He handled it really fucking well. It was crazy. But that's definitely the backbone for this book for sure. Stop! Oh my God, Gall. Minnesota is where the mini apple is. Stop. That's funny. It's snowing. Well, enjoy that. It did not snow once in Vancouver. It was mostly rain. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rework this section because I need to figure out a way to get Fawn not in prison, um, and make this realistic. Because I know plea deals are probably gonna be involved. Because technically, Fawn is 19, Kaylee is 18. They are barely legal. But these kids were definitely very coerced into doing what they needed to do, even as young adults. So I gotta try and figure out a way to legally finagle this so that way there's consequences for actions, but it still ends well for them. And that's where this gets really difficult. I have about only a couple pages left of this. And then I'm on to the last chapter. Then I'm done with the transcribing this book. So that's very exciting. And then we get to vote on what I write next. I don't know. Anything is possible. I have to try and figure out if I want to effectively change my release schedule to where I'm releasing multiple books a year. But also, I don't know if that's necessary per se. That might be too much for me to market. It may just be one a year still. and then I'll work on other side projects like audiobooks and things like that in off time, off season. Oh, I also turned on the cafe and rain sounds for people over on YouTube. Sorry, it was like super quiet over there. I continuously forget that the option is there for sound effects. You guys just don't get the music. Also, Shura, or not Shura, Silas is really gunning to get shot by police. He really want to get shot. My goal for the next couple days is to get my book to 35K words. That is awesome. I'm sure you'll do great. It seems like you have a really good direction for the project, so that's awesome. I'm trying to figure out how long I want this thing to be, because I don't know if I want to try and pitch this to standard agents. I might. As of right now, I need to send out more queries. The science fiction that I'm trying to query right now has effectively had no requests on it, which sucks. So I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna try and query this guy named Jim. Oh, I'm pretty sure I got a negative query back from Luke Janklow. This was a rejection. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure what my plan is on that yet. Kind of curious. I don't know. Nice, I've written out the framework for the entire trilogy. That is a good sign. I've definitely encouraged people when they're writing like a series to just do that, so that way there's no weird plot holes, you know? It is always unfortunate when that happens. Alright, let's see where our next sprint's gonna go. What do we got? We got, a 13. That's actually quite low. Comparatively. Teeny weeny sprint. Little baby sprint. Each book focuses on a different field of sci-fi a little. Nice. The first is nanotech, the second is transhumanism, and then the third is time travel. Honestly, whatever you got going on, this sounds brilliant. I'm so invested. It sounds like such a fun premise, and like I love like either like sci-fi thrillers or like yeah, any kind of like tech-based thrillers. Those are cool. Like, or punk thrillers too. That's really awesome. It makes it interesting. I like a little bit of world building and a little bit of cool like tech to go along with the thrillers that I'm reading. But cool. All right, well, let's get started on this 13-minute sprint. Let's see how much we can do in such a short sprint But we're going to give it a shot, and I will see you all on the other side of this. Here we go. All right, how did everybody do? Also, thank you so much for that follow, Void. I hope you're doing great. Welcome into Sprints. I'm trying to rework a legal system here, and this is not. It is, my previous writing was weak as hell. So, I'm at 3,200 words now. I really need to make sure that this is airtight so that someone doesn't read this and go, "That's not how the law system works." I'm like, "Yes, I know. I'm trying to not completely screw over these main characters while still having it be realistic." I'm starting to get hungry. Well, then maybe it's time to feed the Snorlax, as we say on this stream. Go get some snacks if you haven't had snacks yet. I'm going to take 5 seconds to feed my Snorlax in Pokemon Sleep. Maybe get some snackies myself. Also, don't forget to do a self-care combo. Cal says to hydrate, drink some kind of fluid. Anything works, whether it's tea, soda, coffee, water, Gatorade, does not matter. Sit up straight, don't shrimp, and make sure you stretch. Give your wrists a break, give your body a break. Treat yourself to some self-care for just a moment while we continue to work. Yeah, get a snack. We'll be vibing. We'll be hanging here. I am feeding my Snorlax. I'm feeding him good. Giving him snackies. Oh, I forgot I still have airplane cheeses. I could go eat airplane cheeses. Oh, I hope that you enjoy your tea. Oh, did I tell you that fucking Adagio betrayed me and in the United States they're shipping pretty much exclusively with Uni? Does that happen to you up in Canada? Or do they deliver via Canadian Post? Yeah, they switched in the US entirely to Uni. Unless I want to pay like $4 extra for shipping. Dragonfly, that's cool. I've not heard of that one, but that's good. I'm glad. Yeah, because the Uni delivery drivers will put the packages in random places, wrong units, throw them in the trash. And it's like, you guys literally are the active worst. Sorry, I am I'm watching people fight in my comments, guys. So on the plus side, cool publishing news, if anybody is interested in that, Publishers Weekly has reported that 70% of all readers that they surveyed are uninterested in reading books that are written by AI, which is a great sign for us. I'm going to start marketing my books, and I'm actually going to go onto Amazon and rebrand, and on my website too, I think, for the next year, and put labels on everything saying that everything is 100% human-made, and give credit to me as the illustrator, all of those things, because people are actually actively seeking out human-made books. I would recommend, if you sell at events, having a sign that says my work is 100% human-made on your table, because that's 70% of all people who read are looking for those kinds of things. So that's really important. But I love how effectively I made a video as a publisher telling people that if you have an AI book cover, people are going to think that you're lazy, and that if your outside is AI, they are going to suspect that your inside of your book is AI as well. And this person was like, I couldn't care or less about the cover, to be honest, lols. As long as the content isn't written by AI, then it's all good. I think I actually just bought 5 new books from indie writers who've used AI from their cover art. Their stories sound good, and to discredit a person's work based on their cover could mean a lot of books you're missing out on. What I said was, it still doesn't make it right. AI models are based off of millions of pieces of stolen art, and the U.S. Copyright Office doesn't allow for the copyright of AI art, quote-unquote, for this reason, so it can't be protected legally. So no matter what, indie authors are hurting themselves by making their work vulnerable to theft, using stolen work themselves, and losing potential readers. As this article says, 70% who will avoid the book because of the AI cover. And then this other person was like, I honestly fail to understand how come you're fine with AI visual art, but written art is off limits. This person is like, you make it make sense. But it's what they don't understand too is that, like, this person doesn't get is that it's like, if the author is lazy enough to use AI as a book cover, how do we know that they didn't use it on the interior? How do we know that their book wasn't completely generated by AI? We don't. The answer is that we don't. And so if authors are willing to blatantly say, I used AI to make my book cover, or even try and hide the fact that they used AI to make their book cover, it says nothing about their interior. So now people are just fucking fighting with the one guy that was like, I like AI art, in the comments, and it's really funny. I see. I know many people have had problems with Dragonfly, but so far it's so good for me. Yeah, it's fine in the comments. Give Tycho the boost in the algorithm. Honestly, my Liminal House Press TikTok is actually doing quite well. It's almost to like 200 followers, and I've only really been posting for a little while. Like, I can still on my Liminal House page scroll to the bottom of all the videos that I posted. So I've only been posting for a couple weeks, and it's doing really well. Yeah, I've never heard of Dragonfly here in the U.S. I don't think we have it. If you are U.S. based, Gall. It is. Let's find out. Oh, they are last mile. Yes, they are last mile in Canada, so they are just effectively Canadian uni. Yeah, last mile and international e-commerce. Yeah, so they're just Canadian uni. They're a shipping company. All right, let me roll. Let me roll again. I'm gonna get this chapter done. Dang it. Oh, last mile either. Oh, okay, so effectively what last mile shipping is effectively if you're shipping to the North American continent from Asia, they will use one parcel carrier in Asia, and rather than switching to an international focused company like DHL, or when the company or when the parcel gets to the American continent, like let's say it's the US, instead of shipping via that country's local postal service, like the USPS, for example, the United States Postal Service, they'll instead schlep it off to some other company like Uni, which is a contractor-based service. So they function almost exactly like Uber Eats or Grubhub, or Amazon even has contract workers where they're all contract and none of them actually work for a company. And so that results in that last mile portion of the company, or like of the shipping, going horribly, horribly wrong for most people. Like in my apartment, for example, I live in an apartment with probably 1,000 units. Like there are so many people that live in this apartment. Some of them are townhomes. We have two different buildings. Each building has anywhere from 4 to 5 floors. Sometimes you have to take a second elevator in order to get up to the second floor, and most importantly, in order to get into any of my buildings, because they have great security, you have to use like an entry code in order to get inside. And what these contract last mile delivery drivers will do is effectively blue screen and throw the package anywhere but where you need them to actually put it, which is inside a secure parcel locker inside the building. And so it just results in chaos. But yeah, Dragonfly, I'm assuming, yeah, similar to Uni. But they're awful. I hate them. I hate them as companies. They literally do not work. Ooh, we rolled a nat 20, y'all. Everybody clap. Everybody clap for the nat 20. We did it. Nat 20 on a golden dice. We did it. Almost rolled max roll on these dice. So now we're going to do an extra long sprinty here. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this last sprint. So let's go ahead and go for it, and I'll see you on the other side. Here we go. Alrighty, how did we do? I finished one chapter. I don't know how long it is. And then I started the last chapter. I think I'm just going to try and finish this book today, to be honest. Also, we got another self-care combo, so make sure you sit up, stretch your body, drink some liquid so you don't become a crispy raisin. I've written almost 5,000 words today so far, or transcribed really, which is a lot quicker than just straight writing. So we're doing good so far. Also, thank you so much, Gall, for that follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Retro Arcade. If you want to ever hang out off stream or share your work with the Discord, there is a Discord if you would like to join. No pressure, though. My Merc is going to find the pirate hideout today. Gosh darn it. You're like, get in there. I love that. It sounds like you're making great progress, so that is awesome. Yeah, theoretically, I need to actually finish work and do other work today, but I want to finish this chapter. I am so close to finishing this book. So close. God, this oolong is good. Huh. My Anki is crispy. I shouldn't be sitting on my hand or on my feet while I'm working, but you know, I can't deal. I'm fine. It's always hard, like, writing the last chapter of a book, like, especially after, you know, 105,000, 106,000 words. It's like, I've been with these characters for a long time. Y'all watch me sit here with these guys. It's like, it's crazy. I love Fawn's character arc through this. These kids go through a fucking meat grinder. I tried to join the Discord, but the invite isn't loading. Oh, weird. There's like a... Oh, that link worked for me. It did work. But it could be... It's weird, because when I hovered over the link, it says a network error occurred, so Discord might be just having trouble. You can always try this link too. We'll see. Sometimes Discord is a big old baby and doesn't do what I want it to. You know what this means, y'all? It means that because I'm almost done with this this book, that we get to vote on whatever the next book is. I'm trying to figure out if I should prioritize completed manuscripts or if I should just release what people want to read next. I have to think about it. That one's not working either. Yeah, that sounds like maybe it's a connection error on your end or a Discord maybe down or having trouble in your area. Because both of those I'm able to open on my end to access the invite. So it's figuring it out. But no worries. You can access my Discord or any of my other links below the Twitch stream at any point. Sometimes Discord is a little poopy. That's just all I gotta say. But we have like a writing share in there. We've got like memes and stuff. Oh, this person's gonna argue me. That's so wild on my phone at work. Well, welcome into the Discord. Be sure to go over to the pronoun selection channel, pick your pronouns, and it'll let you into the rest of the server. But we got lots of cool stuff going on in there, so let me know if you have any questions. Sorry, I'm replying to a very long comment. By God, this person is so dumb. This person is like, a novel can't be prompted with like 10 words and turn out in any way good or readable. And I said, that's not factually true. Many people have lied about writing their books with AI, and I could ask ChatGPT right now to write me a full novel. It wouldn't be good, Twilight fan fiction at best, but you could do it. There are authors who are being called out by their fan bases for doing this and writing 3 or 4 books a year, and this is particularly true in romance. If an author is lazy enough to generate a cover via AI, they are lazy enough to write the entire book with AI. You likely just don't know what to look for when trying to find AI in books. It is my job as a professor and a publisher to be able to find AI or suspicious writing every day. It is insidious, and more people are lying about it. Ultimately, what you buy is your choice, but the facts are this. All AI was trained on stolen work, whether art or language models. None of it can be copywritten, and all of it is the result of laziness, cutting corners, or lack of care for the work itself. If an author is willing to undermine their own career by producing subpar work, that's on them. I don't know what people fucking they don't understand. This person now gets no more of my time. They can go, I think they're trying to make the argument that their concern is, it's like, well, what if the author uses an AI cover, but the book is actually good? It's like, well, if they cut corners on their cover, like, the book is going to be trash probably too. Like, it's probably, if they don't take the time to get a good cover, like, then that means that the inside likely isn't edited. That means that the inside likely wasn't proofread. That means that the inside was likely not formatted correctly. It means that the inside might not have good developmental editing or plot because ultimately they rushed it. Because it's Canva is free. Like, Canva is fucking free. Stock images you can get off of Pexels are free. Like, there's really no excuse. This is such an insane fight to fight. There are like so many AI bootlickers on the internet. It's insane. All right, I'm going to roll for my last sprint. I'm going to try and finish this chapter. Okay, so we got 22 minutes. So I'm going to go over stream a little bit, but I think this last 22 minutes I'm going to be able to do it. So let's get going. We got this. Last sprint of the day, for real this time. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Oh my god, it's called artificial intelligence because they only have natural stupidity. Stop, I'm going to go lay down. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I saw an organization that I think summed this up the best. AI is great for certain tools in publishing, like organizing outlines. So not creating the outline, not generating the idea, but organizing the outline, automatically formatting the interiors of books. That can help speed up the process of book formatting really quickly. And I do think that that's a great way to use that in the pipeline. Certain things like creating marketing copy, I would even argue, is probably fine. But as soon as you get to the actual creative portion of it, any kind of like actual writing, editing, proofreading, any of that stuff, it's like the AI just falls short. It can't do it without the assistance of a human eye. So you're going to be ultimately wasting your time doubling the amount of work you're doing for absolutely zero reason for a less than stellar result. It legitimately just makes zero sense. And for whatever reason, people are of the opinion that writers make oodles of money, right? Like it's some easy job, you know, that we sit down and we pump out books and then all of a sudden just paychecks generate. And I don't know how to tell people that, like, my last audiobook royalty payment was 63 cents. And I kick out a book a year at minimum. I am considered prolific for, like, my age, and I am not making any money. So I don't know where they think that they're going to get these paychecks from, but like it's a lot of people just wanting to cut corners because they think that they can make a quick profit. And it's hopefully they're learning that that's not the case, but unfortunately, like the people with like the AI coloring books and things like that, I don't think are learning that lesson because people keep getting trapped and accidentally purchasing them. It just really sucks. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. So good luck for this last 22-minute sprint. We'll see you on the other side. All right, I know we have 2 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock, but I think I've finished my damn book. And now I am free! Also, thank you so much, Obscurusani, is that how you say your username? 44 for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Retro Arcade. My name's Tycho. I'm an award-winning author and illustrator, and I've published 11 books. We're currently working on a BioTech Thriller that is a retelling of a Grimm Brothers fairy tale, and now I am free. I am free from it. It is done. Today I wrote 5,730 words, or rather transcribed 5,730 words, which is pretty sick. I'm working on sprucing this book up from where I wrote it when I don't know, I guess when I was like 20. It was not good. Now we are fixing it, and it is so much better than it was. It also got an additional like 20,000 words to it, so a lot of extra words. I've gotten hung up on the memes in the Discord, but my Merca did reach the uninhabited island where the pirates are hiding. Nailed it! You did it! You did it! We love it. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to update my word count tracker. So we got 5,730 today. So what is today? Today is December 2nd. Pretty good. My typical goal for writing every month is about 15,000 words. But I did do my yearly overview, and overall I've written almost about 250,000 words this year. My strongest month was November with 74k words, and my weakest month was May because I was getting married. So clearly I did not write anything that month at all. That's okay. Ain't a bad thing. So now also too, this bad boy is at 106,815 words. I'm probably going to need to trim it down. But trimming it down to 98k from this is not bad at all. Yeah, because I need to get it under 100,000 words. So that's going to be my next goal when I do work on this particular novel for release. It'll be getting it down below 100,000. I only really started writing in March, and at the time it was the outline. I started writing the actual book in June, and I have a lot to go with it. Yeah, that's totally fine. Everybody writes at their own pace. I recognize I'm kind of low-key a machine, which is horrifying. Yeah, this book in particular was easier to write, so to speak, quote-unquote, because I am transcribing a manuscript that I had before, and it was just not as good. So some of it I kept, a lot of it I deleted, most of it I had to expand on and rework, so now it's just a matter of removing around 8,000 words from this document to try and get it to that point. But that is what my developmental, or not my developmental editor is for, my line editor is for, because I know that this book is good, the story is good, it's just a matter of getting it to be the right size. And I'm really happy with it, to be honest. So, I'm going to go ahead and bounce, because I got to go do my actual job. So I'm going to go do that, and thank you so much for everybody who hung out today. We got so many follows today, which was cool. So, Obscuru, Lactigal, and then also to Void Biggie. Thanks so much for the follows, I appreciate it. Thanks to Lucas Campbell for subscribing to me over on YouTube as well during the stream. I really appreciate that a lot. And thanks to everybody who hung out, chatted. You all are awesome. I will be back tomorrow with some comics works. If you want to watch me work on a writing and illustrating a comic, I'll be doing that tomorrow at around the same time. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.